Well, good afternoon, SLAE family. I am so excited today. I'm always excited, but I am beyond excited today because we are going to have the best time ever. These two incredible women that you are looking at right now are just doing everything. They're successful entrepreneurs. They are shaking up the beauty industry. They are shaking up what's possible for us as women. And I am thrilled that they are on here. And they make some seriously fabulous lipstick. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So today our guests are the founders of Fempower Beauty. And so I'm going to start off, if I could please, if you wouldn't mind each introducing yourself and just sharing a little bit about your background. That would be a great start.
Awesome. Thank you so much, first of all, for having us and for including us in your wonderful group. We're really excited to be here and to talk to you all today, tonight, and whenever you're going to tune in. My name is Alexis, and Christina and I are actually partners in business and in life. So we like to think of ourselves as partners. And I have literally been pushing Christina to basically launch a beauty brand, not necessarily with me, but since our first date. And I've been in beauty. I started in retail at going back to 2006. I've been a makeup artist. I'm a product developer. And presently I am co-founder of Fempower Beauty. And I also do a lot of product development for some celebrity clients as well. So beauty has literally been my spoken language and my first love, and dare I say, not my longest love, but for a very long time.
And going back to that first date, yeah, when Alexis and I did meet, and we did meet in 2014 on Tinder, and so the love stories do exist. During our first date, we were talking about, what does a beauty brand look like? And she pitched an idea then. I was like, I don't know, I think we can go deeper than that. And my background is in education. I was a high school English teacher at the time. I still do work very closely with schools. I just recently got my PhD in education as well, which is really great. So Alexis and I birthed Fempower Beauty as this very educational brand that will challenge people, challenge the way that they think, right? Make these new neural pathways, right? Change the way that we look at ourselves and we look in the mirror, not in a bad way, but in an affirming way. So that's kind of like the quick 101, and I'm sure we'll get deeper into the questions about Fempower. But that was the impetus into starting the brand. And it's just ironic that it can trickle even back to our first date. It really is our first baby.
Yeah, literally.
Well, things are meant to be sometimes. So congratulations on the PhD. And I also want to congratulate you because I understand you're going to be getting married. So I'm really excited.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So yes, I love it. Look, I am a confessed lipstick addict, so I was beyond giddy to have you two in here anyway. But what's really unique about your company is the messaging and the mindset, because the product is fabulous. I'm wearing it today, but I love what goes behind it. So would you share with us a little bit about, what you've seen in the beauty industry and how you are trying to shift the way that women view themselves?
Yeah. So really going back to that sales floor, again, my role at the time, just for some context, was that I literally was like a traveling artist for NARS in the New York, New Jersey area. So NARS Cosmetics, for whoever is or isn't familiar, is now in the top 10 global beauty brands of the world. And my job was essentially to meet and have these really intimate conversations with, thousands of, at the time, primarily women, but in some cases, certain men as well. And every single person that would walk up to the counter or the gondola at Sephora or wherever I was working at that day, because I would be in all different stores, all different demographics, would always pick up the mirror, look inside, and say something negative about themselves. Whether it was, down to, I always joke around, like down to their earlobes. I've heard it all. Earlobes, under eye circles, big nose, small lips. Every single thing was this constant kind of stream of negativity. And for me, being 19, having started on the sales floor, really just provoked this wonder and this curiosity. And where did that language come from? Where did that obsession with the aesthetic in the negative lens come from? And this is, again, something I would talk about with Christina all the time, because it didn't make sense to me. And eventually, my dream was to go corporate and work for, NARS's parent company to do product development. Because I thought very innocently that if I got to a corporation and I could develop products that had different types of messaging around it, that we could change this narrative. By we, me, and the giant corporation. And I learned really within the first few days that that's where the messaging was coming from. It was coming from the big corporations. This is how culture was shaped for decades. And ultimately, it was about the problem, i.e., large earlobes, dark circles, etc., small lips. And then let's give you that solution. And it was this like instantaneous problem solution narrative in people's minds that created the desire for them to buy. So we recognized and identified this at Fempower immediately as the antithesis of how we wanted to build our business and our brand. And that essentially is kind of one of the starting points of what and how we do what we do. And this is why we are affirming beauty. To affirm simply just means to remind you of all of your magic on the daily. If we could eradicate the word ugly from the English language in the context of aesthetics and beauty, we would, to put it simply. And
It's
I think
really,
that
it's
yeah.
amazing because you're so right. You know, wearing makeup for, you know, I mean, not all women do wear makeup. For those of us who do, wearing a makeup should be an expression, like an artistic or creative or, you know, joyous expression. But it's true, you know, there are so many standards for women that you do feel like you got to fix this, fix that. And then of course, Instagram makes it worse because people compare each other to people with 10,000 filters and all this lighting on there and everything too.
That's true.
So you do have this fantastic messaging, and you not only make beautiful lipsticks, but you have some other things. So would you share a little bit about the other products that you have with the messages on them?
Yeah, well, one of the things as well off of Alexis's answer is we have a beauty coaching service that we've been piloting and that we're officially launching the next couple of months as well, alongside merch. But back to the service, Alexis actually takes people through something that we trademarked, the Affirmation Application, which is basically a ritual, changing your makeup practice into a ritual. So instead of talking badly to yourself, literally stopping yourself when you have these negative thoughts and associating positive affirmations. Alongside with that, every single one of our lipstick products, I don't know if you noticed, but on the top of your product, there's actually an affirmation there as well, right? And you're wearing Eve, right?
Yeah.
So
a little blurry,
so
unfortunately,
Eve
the background, but yeah.
Eve's affirmation is a symbol of advocacy. And so we have another one here, Adam, I know you can't really see it on the background, who's a symbol of equality, right? So it's like you are advocacy or you are equality, and you're saying that affirmation to yourself when you look in the mirror, which inspired these other merchandise drops that we have. So here we have these mirror decals as well that I have here. It's hard with the background, but basically you can take these mirror decals.
I know it's like impossible with the background.
Yeah, I can't do it with background, but you can take these mirror decals and apply them onto your mirror to remind yourself as well, right? Regardless of when you're applying a beauty product, you have the decal there that's going to tell you, I am authentic or I am loved. And you can take that moment to just pause and remind yourself of that affirmation. And it literally, it sets the intention for your day. Because when you think about it, one of the first things that we do, especially as women, is like, yeah, go to the bathroom, sure. But then you look in the mirror, right? And it's fascinating because we are very likely to say something negative instead of something positive. And then 80% of the thoughts that we have are repetitive. So if you think about that, right, and you set the intention of your day with saying something negative, if you change that, that literally can just change your entire day just by saying that positive thing.
So true.
And so this affirmation is set as a reminder to say that positive thing to yourself. And again, when you put on your makeup, to say your affirmations, to say that positive thing to yourself, to affirm yourself of the positivity of who you are, right? Instead of saying that negative thing throughout your day.
And in many ways, we like to think of it as like the performance mindset kind of coaching style infusion into your makeup ritual and makeup routine.
Right.
You have 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is that you're doing in terms of your application, we can maximize that. And we do bring in certain facets of mindfulness like breath work and tapping into the service as well. So in a nutshell, really, it's like this one-stop shop of really just totally transforming the way you look, talk, touch, and think about yourself on the daily in terms of the practice. So it's very exciting for us. It's something that we've cultivated. It's our kind of like our brainchild of together. The teacher and the makeup artist came together to build the curriculum for, you know, self-love ultimately.
Right.
It's,
So
pardon the pun, the perfect marriage. Sorry about
yeah.
that. Well, it's interesting because, you know, you are working on the beauty on the inside and the beauty on the outside simultaneously.
Totally.
And, you know, I always believe that if you don't feel good about yourself, you don't look good. And if you feel good about yourself, you look better than you would have otherwise. Like if you've ever met someone and they have an amazing personality, you keep thinking they're more and more and more attractive, or you might see somebody who's physically attractive, but they're not a very nice person and they become unattractive really quickly. So, you know, I love that you're combining the two and really offsetting so much marketing that makes women criticize themselves. It's fantastic.
Right. And changing the language of the marketing as well, right? Because if you look at beauty history, a lot of the products are named after things that are supposed to make you feel bad about yourself so that you use the product, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about blush, for example, or you think about concealer, right? Blush is like, oh, when you're shy, you blush, right? Or conceal, it's
Shame,
like
embarrassment.
you need to hide something because you're concealing something about yourself. Like,
yeah,
who's teaching us that we need to hide things about ourselves, right? And why is that the solution, that we need to hide something about ourselves if you start to look at beauty products as a metaphor? And this is where my English teaching brain comes in. It's just like, wow, we need to rewrite the whole beauty industry.
that's so true about concealer when you think about it, you know. Maybe, you know, the bags under your eyes can be a sign of you're working and you're up to something fabulous in life.
It's your body.
Bags under my eyes, not yours.
Your body is communicating with you. And like, really, if we were to summarize, you know, why do this elaborate, you know, high touch coaching service? Why be this beauty brand that's going to launch this product and this software, you know? And the reality is that so many of us are so digitally connected, whether it be through the use of social media, which is wonderful on the one hand, but so disconnected to ourselves. So that is where you talk about mind, body, and makeup coming together in the beautiful symphony of really self-discovery beyond just self-love, and really thinking about, who am I? You know, what are the intentions that I want to put out today into the world? And it's so easy going back to those feelings. And we talk about that a lot. You know, as a brand, we want to evoke emotion. When you put this lipstick on, we want you to feel wildly powerful, unstoppable.
It's the equivalent, and I think we were quoted in one of our articles about this, but it's the equivalent of the male power tie when you think about it, right?
Yes, that's a great
bold
analogy.
lip colors. Now I know that, you know, walking on public these days, obviously there's masks, but still, like, you know, when you're on a conference call, you know, lipstick sales actually went up because it's something so powerful that vividly speaks through the screen. Even now, like, we're all wearing our products, it's hard to not notice the colors on our lips.
Yes, 100%. Now, I know you launched pre-pandemic and you had some incredible success. I know you were featured in Allure and you were on Good Morning America. And then I know that you did have to shift and start making some changes because the pandemic, which really threw a wrench in everybody who's in entrepreneur's world. So any words that you want to share on that shift and how you navigated through that?
Yeah, I think for us, it was when people met us in real life and interacted with our product, even you know, beauty junkie who was like, wow, this product is amazing. People really understood the quality, because it is a competitive luxury product that is made in the same street as some of the biggest names out there, you know, when it comes to the luxury market in Italy. So it's an amazing product. Our message is amazing. People became obsessed and in love with our brand very easily. That became a lot more challenging during the pandemic, when all of a sudden everyone is on the internet. People aren't, as you know, can't engage with our product in real life because of masks and sanitary. So there was so much that we had to rethink. That being said as well, when we did launch, we were inspired by the Women's March initially, actually, when Alexis turned around and said, well, look at all these women marching, like we should do something, the collective power of women, empowering each other. And that was the impetus of the initial thought of Fempower.
That's when I was able to finally convince her that we should do this.
And I said, let's do it. And we initially launched with the Genesis collection, which are 4 lipsticks, which are Eve, which is our vivid pink that you're wearing, Lilith, which is our very pigmented red that we're both wearing on this side of the screen. We have Adam, which is a mauve nude, and then we have Serpent, which is a beautiful earthy dark brown. And the Genesis collection, which are named out of these characters from the Adam and Eve story, what we tried to do in shifting culture and shifting that narrative is challenging, well, what if Adam took a bite out of the apple first? How would life be different? Because Eve is to blame for everything, right? Again, this is the English teacher side. So that was the initial marketing story. And it resonated, but we had to take on a different identity in regards that, like, yes, we can still have the Genesis collection, but we could do more, especially when we think about partnerships and what we're doing today, for example, right? Partnering with you to do the Zoom, but also, you know, partnerships with our future launches. So what we're doing now, which was our aha moment over the pandemic, was—
And just to quickly add, these IRL meetups, we had about 10 of them slated for 2020.
Yes, we had a lot.
All of which were canceled because of COVID. Therefore, pivot for us was not only needed, it was necessity. We were popping up and selling product, you know, at these events, and that no longer would be.
So our partnership was very much selling what we had in current market. But what we decided to do moving forward, which we're so excited about, which is partnering with educator activist influencers who have amassed a large following on the internet, that have highly engaged audiences, and launching products with them, where we can teach together instead of through these marketing stories and asking these questions about these different big thematic topics like race, like class, like gender, like sexuality, and have these conversations, but use beauty as the modality to do that. And actually affirm yourself that A, you're able to learn these things, and B, everyone can be affirmed, right? So it's we're a brand, no one's doing this, where it's, you know, not only are we telling you that, you said it best, loving yourself inside and out, but we're actually having these conversations that some people are scared to have, and we're catalyzing that. We're going to be on the internet. And we can't say exactly who the launch is with yet, but it is coming out in February. We're super excited about it. So stay tuned. This is going to be our new business model moving forward.
And the
We'll
real
have you come back in February when that comes out.
Yeah.
And I think for us, what we realized during the pandemic was how thirsty and hungry people were for change.
Yes.
Yes.
So they're out there, and these educator influencers have gathered them. And I'm sure the vast majority, if not everyone in this room, is hungry for the same change. And that's why you're all here. And that's why you've gathered in community to cultivate the changes you want to see in the world.
Right.
So naturally for us post-pandemic, it just made complete and utter total sense to find the change makers who have the audience that are so hungry for the change, and to deliver that change to the customer's hands through the launch.
Brilliant. It's a great strategy. I mean, you're going to reach your audience right away. It's fabulous. So, you know, you've done all this, and I know that you also are doing some charity components with that as well. So just so you all know, they do a lot of giving back with their partnerships. But with that being said, and with the new things you have that you're going to be launching in February, you know, what is the goal for you in the next 5-10 years? Where do you want to see Fempower go? You know, tell us your vision.
Yeah, that's a big one. Right now, we are actually seeking investment in the pre-seed stage, so that we can build to become this much bigger company that expands these kinds of partnerships. Because right now, the educator activist influencers that we're partnering with are ones that are known for the concepts they're educating around. So this next one we're doing in February, I feel like this is a riddle and I keep on dropping hints. This educator we're doing it with is an anti-racist educator who actually went viral during the Black Lives Matter movement that happened during the 2020 protests of George Floyd. So we're super excited about that, and continuing that thread of these thematic topics. So we may have like a mommy blogger series as well, right? Not just educating around these heavy topics, but also about how do we talk to children about how to affirm themselves. We may be doing something with the sex educator. And I know this sounds crazy. It's like, wow, you're going to be doing—
Doesn't sound crazy at all. It's brilliant.
Right. So we are going to have a very differentiated approach to who we're partnering with. We're going to expand that out. And it's hard to say, actually. I think where any company envisions themselves in 5 years, because I don't know if everyone's keeping on with what's happening with the metaverse and virtual reality and augmented reality and how that's going to affect business, which I very much believe it is. But regardless, we see ourselves being as some type of software, whether that exists in virtual reality or augmented reality, that helps people talk to themselves with the assistance of technology as some type of tool. Now, how that looks and what that looks like exactly yet to be determined. We're working on it, but we're going to do this in partnership with these educators that we're launching products with and our community that we build.
So really it's the affirmation application, in the metaverse. What does that look like? Right. And overall, it's one thing for me to meet, which we do now in a one-to-one capacity, and have these services, and they're completely free at the moment. And this is, again, we've done certain kind of beta testing of this one-to-one high touch beauty coaching service. It's an entirely other thing to be able to scale that and reach much, much more in terms of volumes of audience to really help people, again, start to understand that mind body makeup connection that we keep talking about. But again, 5 to 10 years is we have lofty goals in how we're going to bring beauty experiences through the partnerships to life, but how we're going to parallel that experience shifting culture with the software service as well.
Well, it's just, I mean, it's amazing everything that you're up to. And, when you look at it, you can go to, Sephora or go wherever, and there are makeup brands, but most of them, and I'm not trying to say anything negative, but they don't really stand for anything. They're just makeup. And it isn't about really empowering women to feel differently, think differently, talk differently. And I love that you're 2 women making product for women. That's also incredibly amazing. And I will share with you this, so when I was exposed to your company, I thought this is the most awesome company anywhere. And I was so excited. I thought, please let their product be as fabulous as them. So, here I am. I'm just going to fess up here. And I like bright colors. So I got the pink and I got the red. And the first day I wore the red and I was like, okay, I'm going to go wild here. If you can make a good red, that's not going to end up all over my face. You got my heart, right? I put it on. I ate lunch. I went to Starbucks. I had a protein shake. I had quesadillas for dinner and it was still on. I could not believe it. And it wasn't drying. It wasn't like sometimes you get stuff that stays on it. It's waxy. I mean, it was light and the product was fabulous. And so I'm so excited. I mean, I really love supporting your company, but I really think your product is off the charts. It's just so great.
It's funny because it actually organically received awards in some really great publications like Marie Claire, right? Best lipstick for literally anything, It is. It definitely is competitive. And that's Alexis's brainchild with her background.
We wanted, like I always joke around, like the Carlos Santana song, Because You're So Smooth, like that's the song that we want to play in your head when you're literally gliding it on. And when you think about product, it's beyond the fact that it's extremely intimate, because as an artist, when you're putting product on somebody else, that's something that's going to sit on your skin. That's serious. So the challenge always being, how do you marry performance and comfort? And that is something that we will continue to do as well. Like the high performance without sacrificing the comfort, because no one should have to wear, whether it be an article of clothing, underwear. I have a lot of feelings on underwear. That's a different conversation for a different day. But I mean, it's about feeling incredible in whatever you're wearing. And that does affect, the formulation is in essence, the thing that will affect how you're going to feel. You shouldn't put a lipstick on. And I find this time and time again that people don't even know, where you're literally talking and you're feeling your lips blockaded like sandpaper from the fact that the lip product itself is, so drying. It shouldn't be that you use something on the daily and your lips are so dry that you have to buy the next thing to exfoliate them and remove that dryness. So that goes back to our message, that goes back to our intention. Everything we do is extremely thoughtful. And, we would hope that you all, take advantage. We have an amazing 20% off going right now for our holiday. And with the purchase of $30 or more, you do get free shipping and a free luxury mirror. It is double-sided.
One side magnifies and the other side is regular. So it's super exciting. It's a good time to get in on Fempower. And a lot of people are like, wait, how do you spell Fempower? It's literally empower with an F in the front. So that's fempowerbeauty.com.
Yeah, we'll put the link below this interview too, so people can go ahead and do it. And if they order now, today is December 7th, they should be able to receive it by Christmas if they want to get it for themselves to look fabulous, or for a friend, or I am a deep believer in one for me, one for my BFF. I always and it should get to them on time if they're in the US, right?
Totally. It should get there in about 2 to 3 days. Orders over $30 not only get the free mirror, but they also get free shipping. So it's a super great deal that we have going on right now. And if you are buying for a friend, if you were to email us from the contact us, or just go to hello@fempowerbeauty.com and email us, we'll put a personalized gift message to the friend as well.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
So always happy to do that. I know it's
Yeah.
it's the holiday season, so there's a lot of gifting going on, and the friends love receiving these. It's happened a few times now.
Yes. And I almost forgot, it is vegan and cruelty free, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
clean,
that's-
vegan, and cruelty free.
Wonderful. It's funny because it does go on really light. And so I kept looking when I was wearing the red the other day. I was looking because I kept going, is it still on? Because I
Yeah.
didn't feel it, which is what
Totally.
you want, which is really great. So I'm a fan. I love what you are doing. And I mean, like I said, the lipstick's amazing, but I love even more that you stand for something that you're trying to make a difference for women. And to have the two of you as a couple that are building this business, it's just so exciting and so much better than, walking and just getting whatever.
Corporation.
Yeah. I don't want to say any brands,
I know.
but it's so exciting. So, I love that. So we're going to put that information. Now, some people who are watching this will see this in YouTube, and some people will see it in the private Facebook group. If you're in the Facebook group, you both have joined, so they can send you a message, right? If they'd like to.
Absolutely.
Please feel free to do that. And,
Anything you want to know.
as we're building the future of Fempower, that yes, we're building it for women, but we're building it also for anyone that's wearing beauty products, non-binary, women, men,
However
right?
you identify.
We just had this conversation with the friend who's like, my boyfriend just started to wear eyeliner. We're like, good for them, So yes, our intention was with women, and that is still our main audience. We're doing it for anyone that wants to affirm themselves is welcome in the Fempower community.
Fabulous. And you have two bold colors, but you also have two more sedate ones. If they're like, I like the crazy stuff, but if people want something more sedate, there's a more subtle color too, if they're not into the wild colors as well.
Yes, we have two nudes and two very highly pigmented power colors, which we're wearing today. But we do have that mauve, which is that Atom lipstick, and that darker nude brown, which is the serpent. And we do have 6 new shades coming out in February, so stay tuned.
Okay, you're going to have to come back in February. That.
With swatches.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate what you're doing to help women. And I'm never going to put on concealer and stop thinking about that ever again, though. I have to tell you, just mess with my mind when it comes to it. But
yes,
it's fantastic. And congratulations on the success you've already had. And thank you for taking the time to be in here with our private group. Really, really appreciate that. So I'm a fan. For all of you watching, I highly recommend it. You can, get these awesome lipsticks and support a women-based company. Look fabulous for the holidays, or make your best friend look fabulous too. It's all good.
And feel good, right?
Yeah.
And feel
good.
great.
What
And
it's
I
all
love
about.
that it's vegan and cruelty-free. That's so important. No reason to hurt an animal just to look cute,
Exactly.